Welcome, and today I'm going to show you one of the biggest mistakes beginners make when starting to advertise on Facebook. Now, when anyone starts their Facebook advertising conquest or approach, they pretty much always use interest-based targeting. And now, sometimes this can be the correct method, but almost always across every campaign, there's better ways to go about it. I'm going to show you what people typically do and why it's typically not effective. All right, so interest-based targeting is essentially using basic demographics and different interest groups which Facebook tells you people fit into. So I'm going to show you an example, and I'm going to show you essentially why it doesn't work. And that's why people start advertising on Facebook and eventually stop because they just don't get the results they want. So I'm going to take you through a basic campaign, and I'm going to show you how I would and how beginners typically advertise to someone. Let's take as an example a supplement industry. So we're pretending we're a supplement company who sells different sorts of sports supplements like whey protein and bulk builders and all that type of stuff. And what people do is they come to their basic demographics and they'll say, cool, I'm going to choose the people to target in whatever region I'm in. So let's assume we're in South Africa. We're then going to say, okay, we're going to try and target men and women between the ages of 20 up into, let's say, 45. And then automatically people go into the interest or demographic based targeting. And what they do is something like this, where they'll say, cool, let's try and target people interested in gym. Let's see if there's a gym thing, or let's do fitness, physical fitness, there we are. And we can do some suggestions. Let's do physical exercise, weight training, and so on. And people would populate their interest-based group assuming that their audience is correctly targeted because they've filled this out. Surely Facebook has the right targeting. I'm going to show you why this is often incorrect. Now, from there, people create their ads and start marketing. Now, why these typically are incorrect, I'm going to show you how we know they're incorrect, is because these are all inferred interests, which means that more often than not, people that fit into this group haven't gone to their Facebook profile and said, I like physical exercise, or I like physical fitness or weight training. What's happened is that based on different liking or commenting or Facebook interactions, Facebook has inferred that these people like this. And more often than not, it's not very accurate. I'm going to show you again how we know that. So what we're going to do now is actually verify and understand how Facebook determines that someone in its audience likes weight training. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the drop down on the top left. I'm going to check out all the tools, and under planning we're going to choose audience insights. So I'm going to leave that page, and now we're going to actually dig deeper into what that weight training audience is actually built up of. So I'm going to click on everyone on Facebook, and I'm going to literally duplicate how I targeted that person in my ad, or the people that we're trying to target in our ad, in our audience insights. So I'm going to choose the same region, being South Africa in this case, and we're going to choose the interest group of weight training. And what this does now, it says, okay, in South Africa, Facebook believes the audience of weight training consists of, or its audience does, consist of 300 to 350,000 people, and it's made up of 63% women and 37% men. Now this is not really the interesting part. The interesting part is when we get to the page likes section. So I'm going to click on page likes. Now when I get into page likes, it's going to show me a whole list of different pages which people have liked from, and that has allowed Facebook to determine that they're interested in weight training. And when we go through it, you're going to see how often, how inaccurate this often is. So let's start at the top and just go through a few ones that pop out. So people that like the pages Nutritech, Optimum Nutrition SA, USN SA are most likely great candidates. So if anyone's not in the industry, these are typically brands of sports supplements used for weight training. So all these are really accurate, and it's a good fit. But you'll see as we go deeper, Let's go through down step by step. Sportsman's Warehouse again could be an accurate fit because someone that likes sports probably does frequent Sportsman's Warehouse. But then we see things like this, Hirsch's Home Store. So what it says is that someone that likes Hirsch's Home Store gives Facebook an indication that they might be interested in weight training, which is more often than not, if you think about it, really an inaccurate result. And if we're advertising to people in the weight training category, we're essentially also advertising to people that are just liking Hirsch's Home Store who may or may not have any interest whatsoever in weight training. And therefore we're getting to an audience which is really inaccurate. And if we go down even further, we have people that like Le Creuset and Sasco. Again, Facebook uses that to say, great, then they probably are interested in weight training, which we know just by intuition that's most likely not the case. Same for big concerts, same for choreographed, same for even restaurants.coza. And what lands up happening is that within our major audience of 300 to 350,000 people that Facebook says like weight training, there's usually a small percentage that actually do like weight training. Now, they don't do this to try and fool us. They do this because this is what their data tells them. But it does need another look over to really get rid of the ones that don't apply. So what we would do is we would then take the ones which we do feel are really accurate, i.e. Nutritech, Optimum Nutrition, USN, maybe even Sportsman's Warehouse, and rather advertise of those or include those in our audience rather than the broad weight training, which now gives us a whole fortune of other results. So back to the beginning, why this is so important and why this is where most beginning Facebook advertisers go wrong is that you pay per impressions typically in Facebook advertising. And if, let's assume, out of this 350,000 audience, only 30,000 are interested, or at least potentially interested, that means 90% of the audience we show to will never make an action, and therefore we're wasting 90% of our money marketing to the wrong audience. So I really encourage beginners to use interest groups with keeping this in mind that they're not 100% accurate, and rather first dig deeper in our planning section, and only once we've done that, then input closer niches into our interest group before we start advertising on Facebook using this technique. I hope that helps. If you did like this video and want to keep up with some more Facebook tips and tricks, please hit the subscribe button. Please like the video or leave a comment below, and we will sure to get back to you. Thank you so much.